Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, We'll Cook for Food. My name is Jessica Wilkins and today we are going to make this delicious all the Oreo cake. Let's get started. First, I've got my cake all ready to go. I baked it the day before and froze it so it's nice and cold. Now I'm just putting a little bit of frosting under the cake board and under the first cake layer just to help hold them on to keep them from sliding around. And I'm making sure the cake is nice and centered on the board. Next, I'm gonna get a big old dollop of frosting and put it on there. Then I'm gonna smooth it out with my offset spatula so it's nice and level. Then I will do the exact same thing for the second layer. Here comes my second layer, and let me tell you, this just makes me think of 101 Dalmatians. Does it do that for anyone else? Let me know in the comments. I would like to mention that this cake was inspired by Cakes by MK and the Sugar Geek Show, so I will try to link those down below. Here I just got another big dollop of frosting and I'm smoothing it out to make sure it's nice and even. When I'm adding this final layer, I'm just making sure to flip it over and put the bottom on the top so I can get nice sharp corners. Now I'm just going to work on my crumb coat. For those who don't know, a crumb coat is just a really thin layer of frosting that you put around the cake to hold in all of the crumbs. It just locks them in place so you don't get them on the outside of the cake and it won't mess up your final look. I usually like to start with a thick layer on top that I can just scrape off and add to the sides slowly. That way I'm not adding any crumbs to my main batch of frosting. I'm also not really worried about what this crumb coat looks like because you're not going to see it in the end. It's just to keep the crumbs locked in place. Once I get this crumb coat finished, I will stick the cake in the freezer for about 5 or 10 minutes to let the crumb coat harden. That way the crumbs won't move when I put on the final layer of frosting. Into the freezer. Girl, that was fast! Time for the final layer of frosting. I'm just starting with a spatula full of frosting on the top and smoothing it out until it's level. Once I get the top mostly straight, I'll start layering up the sides of the cake. I'm just starting with a little bit of frosting on my offset spatula and using a back and forth motion to push and spread it onto the side. Yep, that just happened. Oh well, nice snack. Here I'm just grabbing my straight edge and I'm going to start going around the cake to make the sides nice and smooth. Sometimes you have to go around several times to get all the bubbles out, but just keep going and it'll get there. If there are any big empty spaces or big bubbles that you need to fill in, just grab some extra frosting and spread it on. Then you can go around it again with your straight edge. Now that the sides are pretty much done, I'm just going to clean up the top a little bit with my smaller offset spatula. I noticed here that I had not quite spread the frosting far enough around the top, so I had to go back and fix that a little bit. And here I'm just filling in a couple more bubbles. Now I'm just grabbing some crumbled up Oreos and I'm using my spoon to kind of press them into the frosting. It's kind of an outer decoration. And I thought I'd clean up my cake plate a little bit. It was looking a little crummy. Now I'm going to add a chocolate ganache drip to the side. I think I got these bottles on Amazon. I actually got them for cookie decorating, but I found out that they work really well for putting on any kind of drip. Now I'm just going to check and make sure everything's all filled in nicely and adding the drips where I think I need them. And then I will just squirt the rest of the ganache on the top of the cake and then spread it out with my small offset spatula. Once I get that done, I'm going to stick this back in the freezer for a few minutes just to let the ganache harden. Now for the final decorations. I took what I had left of the frosting and just put it in a piping bag. And here I'm just going to add some dollops to the top of the cake. I like to start on one side and then turn the cake all the way around and put a dollop straight across from it. This ensures that all the dollops are spaced out evenly. Once I have the first 4 dollops on, I can start adding in the rest in between them. Let me turn this so you guys can see a little better. And now for the final flourish. This is an all the Oreo cake after all. And there we go, all done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. And subscribe for more videos like this coming soon to a YouTube video near you. Oh yeah, before you go, here's what the inside looks like. Boom. And a fork digging in for the bandwagon effect.